The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour. Me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, in the Reach Do We Go tier friends. As we start off today, what do we have? At one point, a whole 30 points on the S&P cash. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Something sounds kind of weird in my headphones. Anyway, wow, really like gating and popping or something. Not exactly sure why. Let's turn that down. Anyway, what we have going on today is a lot of selling. And kind of interesting, we didn't have a lot of signals in the individual stocks. I didn't really know which way to go. I know a lot of people have been bearish, but they've been bearish for a very long time. And the people that have been bullish for a very long time. I thought it was better to wait and react than anticipate. But for the most part, I'm looking at a lot of stocks that could have had a lot more damage out here coming off the top. So far, not that going on. Yeah, it is. Just huge here. So, well, we'll figure out during the break what's wrong and fix it. Anyway, what do we have? Got some decent volume, 2.1 billion shares, but that's not the kind of blowout off the top volume, at least not what we've had before. So we'll figure that out by the end of the day. And of course, in the last 30 minutes, you can either have a lot of volume or not much volume. We are in the midst of options expiration that started yesterday. This may be a little bit more of that today. Sometimes they don't get it all done. So if we start moving up tomorrow, that may be something a little bit different. But we're hovering not much off the lows at 2440, let's call it 2445. And it is, yeah, I know, I sound fuzzy. But it is going to be, I think I know what happened. I'll fix it during the break. A little fuzzy. So what do we have going on? Well, it certainly could be a sell-off, and it could just be what we've seen 20 times before, which, of course, is turn this down so I don't have to listen to it. Could be just 20 times what we've heard before, which is as soon as it sells off, everybody buys it. We got a little of that yesterday, basically closed flat, and, of course, now we're down that 30 points. The question is everything going to participate? And I'm looking at some stocks that just make me think that this is not much, at least so far. I've been wanting to buy a few stocks, especially long-term ones. I'm seeing some sell-offs in some of these smaller stocks that I like to buy long-term for the Tech Insider. So I'm watching those kind of closely today. But you know what? Not much has changed. As always, we like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
I got it. Oh! Yeah, I can cover learning grade school. Okay. Hey, somebody in the den just said something, reminded me that I got to hear 8 full years of Ronald Reagan. It never came true. But who knows? Anyway, 2448. You know, I'm thinking I'm missing something here today, but I don't think I am. I think maybe this is just a little market gas, and maybe this gives us the opportunity. I still think that if we're going to set some kind of long-term high in this market, not just a light volume pullback, then we need to go back up one more time and really have some kind of light volume push to the top that maybe has 20 or 30 points in it to the upside, just like what we had today to the downside. But we don't know. We'll take a look at it. As always, we like to start the this show off with a little bit of history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is nothing but history repeating. And on this day, what did we have? 1849. James Smithson died in Italy, leaving behind a will with a particular footnote. In the event that his only nephew died without any heirs, Smithson declared that the whole of his estate would go to the United States of America to found at Washington, under the name of the Smithsonian Institution, an establishment for the increase in diffusion of knowledge. Today, Smithsonian is composed of 19 museums and galleries. And, I'll put that in there twice. And the National Air and Space Museum has this distinction of being the most visited museum in the world. He died in Italy. He was actually an Englishman and gave his money to the United States because he didn't think we had much culture and we needed a whole lot more. So, what else can you say on that? But that's kind of it. I wanted to start looking at charts fairly quickly today. And I know the audio's messed up. We'll get it fixed during the break. And mostly I wanted to look at some of these stocks like Intel. You know, it's off 19 cents. Has anything really gone anywhere or changed anything today? No. Is the volume a little lighter? It is. We'll see how it ends up today. But not a lot of juice in that. Microsoft, same kind of thing. Don't have a lot more going on in it than this. And that is just, what do we have for volume today? 12 million shares against 26 million shares on August 2nd. So we're at a pretty decent level of support. If we're probably on a few of these, if these things are going to break, they're probably going to bounce a little and then come down with the kind of volume that it'll take to break out that August 2nd low at 71.44. So that's going to need 26 million shares or so. So, you know, if we continue along with these light volume moves, not a whole lot happening. Apple, take a quick look at it. It's come off a little bit more, but again, I can't say that this thing has a lot of volume. I thought it wanted to come back to about 154, 153 anyway, just on this breakout. It was a little ahead of itself. Volume's not bad today, but certainly the 70 million shares you saw on the 2nd of August was everything to do with we have 26 million shares, not that big. We'll be back in just a moment.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Well, hopefully this is better. We fixed the problems during the break, but cannot tell just yet. Hopefully everybody can tell me how's it's going. Any better? Any worse? Okay. Let's see, what else do we have out here? It is better. Okay, thanks. I just don't have any. Okay, well, they say it's better. Okay, I just don't have any audio on my earphones coming back. So we'll see. Anyway, okay. Got that up. Get rid of that so I can get a few things up here. Yes, one of the things on my list out here was Blue Apron, a PRN. Of course, it gets the loser horn for the day. And in that loser horn, what else would you get? Let's see. I think I know what I need to do. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. I just don't see why I don't have any volume coming back out. Anyway, apron down, huge volume. Again, some of these IPOs. The question, this thing was, it came out, had already been reduced, and then not a week after the thing really came out, you saw this big gap down. That was Amazon filing for trademarks for their own Blue Apron-like service. And the question comes up is just what is going on in this particular kind of business? Could and can anyone compete with Amazon? And again, this is how you attract a lot of investigations in the Justice Department for antitrust. And this is, of course, if this thing goes bankrupt, it's going to be kind of a de facto tag on Amazon and its ability to crush anybody coming into the business, and they just get into it and they're, basically you're over. Amazon has kind of come off those highs. It's actually down today, but and the volume is actually fairly decent compared to the 951 low on June 3rd. We've gotten to 955 today. But that was 3 million shares. You already got 4 million shares so far. So I think a lot of people that are starting to think the same thing, which is this is a target. Apple, another one in the crosshairs today of antitrust. Maybe this is the catalyst that gets the market headed lower. The Justice Department is looking in with its argument between Apple and Qualcomm. And why there's not a lot of juice yet in Apple, if this starts to get legs, this is yet another one of these issues that could be brought up for antitrust, not legislation, but action. So we're going to look at we're looking at those stocks and a handful of others that could also have problems. One of the other things that bothers me about today, and the thought that maybe we are just seeing a low here today for maybe the summer, is the weakest stocks out here continue not to fall apart. Best Buy, we brought this up yesterday, had 1/10 of volume at the high 2 trading days ago. Of course, today we're down on 1.5 million shares. It was up on 33 million shares on May 25th. So no volume. Everything's just hanging up here, continues to hang up at highs. And, we'll see. We're at 24.52, which is off 22 points. Okay. So what else do we have? A handful of stocks out here, especially the ones that are highly short, are not off that bad today. They look like they could be making some significant lows. Want to check back in with Priceline, PCLN. Of course, it had a disastrous earnings call. Down on Monster's volume yesterday, down on a little bit more volume today, but not a big surprise. This thing has to 1781, going back to the June 12th low. And this has had a history of falling apart during earnings. Its brother, which is Expedia, not as much action, was down, but not nearly as bad. Expedia looks like it is a bit more of another kind of what do I want to say? Business, in that they're just like Priceline, but they are picking up the Airbnb business. And what they've been talking that up is, you don't need another IPO for Airbnb. Expedia, whether you want to rent a hotel or you want to rent a Airbnb style place, go ahead and use either one. But that's it. Not much going on in that one. We'll look at a few. We looked at that one. Got a request, which you can too. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. And what they want to look at? What was it here? Here they wanted to look at the SMHs. SMH. Okay. Well, again, no real big signal. Volume's a little bit picked up from yesterday, but that was almost a sideways day. We continue to have lower highs and higher lows in this. And my guess is this one looks like it's got yet another week before you break out of it, but no big signals just yet. Let's see what else we have out here that I wanted to look at. See out here. I got a list of stuff. Well, let's go to my list and we'll take a look at those today. I wanted to look at BZH, which is Beezer Homes. We talked about this one making a nice high out here on lighter volume, about 660,000 shares of the last couple of days compared to the 1.2 million shares on December 8th. And as we look at that, it looks like a high, but again, we're down on, 220,000 shares today. So there are, you kind of like to see these things come off the highs if you want to be short with a lot of volume, and we're just not getting that. In fact, some of these stocks look like they may be making some bottoms, and we'll take a look at it. CHK, we talked about this one yesterday, and that's Chesapeake Energy, CHK. Let's go to a little longer time frame. Anyway, I think I got everything fixed after the break. Always waiting.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. I think we're back. Still wacky stuff going on here with the audio today. And hopefully we'll figure that out. Anyway, we were looking at the SMHs, and we got to Chesapeake out here. This is back at a long support level. This goes back to what is that? June 27th of last year, 31 million shares, and you got basically is that right? Yeah, you basically got the same thing looking at here today already. So this one may be a little more weak. We also brought up the OIH yesterday, so let's go check back out in that one. We were looking at all these gaps that look like they're going to get filled. We've gone through the first of them. Yesterday we had a whole lot of volume. Today, not so much, about 4.3 million shares. So we may be finding at least some temporary support. We have two more gaps down at the $22 level that also could get filled. If you probably get there, you probably get to the January 20th low at $19.99. Just a tough one to be in there. One that got kind of taken apart on earnings was Mercado Libre. They're kind of a PayPal and Amazon for South America. This one had kind of a nice move down today to 232.78. And on that one, I don't know what else you can say on that. This gapped up on 1.7 million shares. You're down on 1.2 million shares already, and pretty much hanging at that low. So that one you're going to have to watch closely. Of course, some of the security stocks in the internet, I have gotten some action with CyberArk having some problems. Palo Alto Networks is the favorite of the street boys, probably because it's so easy to understand. There's not a lot of magic in what they do. That's why I kind of like the other ones that do have magic, CyberArk and FireEye. We'll take a look at them in a second. But this is actually coming back out here and finding some level of support. Chart actually looks fairly good. This gapped up on the 1st of June, did so on 15 million shares. Now what are you're back in here with 1.2 million shares. And again, if the whole market was going to roll over, I think we'd probably see, even in some of these, we're not going to see 1/10 or 1/5 the volume in a lot of these. That's why I'm looking for probably a bounce. And if that bounce does not hold, then we're probably going to see stocks like this bring more volume to the party. But right now, not that much. FireEye, again, this one kind of popped and dropped. And it's not looking as bad as it did a couple of days ago when it had 19 million shares, open higher, rotated lower. But you're getting now back into this gap that had 32 million shares on May 3rd. And what do we have today? 3.4 million shares. So again, problematic to get too stuck on today's action when we have a lot of these stocks that are not confirming what we're looking at. CyberArk's got a lot farther to go. We talked about SCCO possibly making a high on light volume. Are we getting any kind of confirmation in that one today? The answer is not really. We're down on 433,000 shares. You were up on 700,000 shares. You have tested the high on lighter volume. You've closed back underneath it. But you were up, you're just basically on this gap over here on the side. And no real huge sellers that I can see right now. One of the other ones I wanted to look at was Xilinx. This one, of course, another one of these things that had gapped up on some decent juice, 8 million shares back on April 27th. We're out here today with 1.2 million shares. Now, you had some more volume on the 2nd. It's some decent volume, 2.6 and 2.5 million shares on those days. But again, you were up on 8 million shares. You're over here today with 700,000 shares so far. So maybe something changes at the end of the day. But I don't know. This looks to me right now as there's nothing to really hang your hat on. Off 20 points on the S&P cash. Volume's been kind of quiet since the show started. 2.3 billion shares on the NYSE. But they always say that I'm the bear. But I can't really see a lot to be bearish about in individual stocks right now. But we'll look at some more. See if there's anything else I wanted to go back and look at from yesterday. I wanted to look at SSYS. We'll take a look at these stocks in the 3D printing sector. This one actually gapped up a little bit this morning and kind of rotated back down. But another one that doesn't look too bad on a chart basis, gapped up on April 18th with 3.2 million shares, got back into that with 1.6 million shares, bounced today. But of course, on a kind of a tough day, going to get a little sell through. So let's take a look at DDD, see if we get any clues from that one today. This one, of course, back at support after coming down off a very hard earnings call. But even then, today we're turning 3.2 million shares against the November 4th low that had 6.75 million shares. So we're, about halfway into that. Let's say we get 4.5 million shares. Still going to be some fairly light volume in these individual stocks by the end of the day. To Target, wanted to look at that one again real quick and see how this one did. This one was probably one of the weaker ones, and wanted to see how this one, anything in retail, of course, is, and we'll look at Walmart next. This one's actually down, and fairly significantly for it. What you don't have is a great deal of juice. 7.7 million shares so far today. My thought is this was probably even before the market turned a little sour over the last couple of days. Looked to me like 51 bucks. What's Walmart? WMT. Take a quick look at that. And of course, people in the den talking about NVIDIA earnings after the bell tonight. We'll look at some of those other stocks and see how they're doing today in the next segment. The Walmart store had June 5th, $80.47 with 18.5 million shares. You got into this with 6.6 million shares yesterday. It's back into the trading range now. This one and retail continue to be a little weak. This one, the energy was off about 15% off this July 10th low on this way back up. But again, I didn't think anything more than a trading range for this. That 77.50 is probably where you would want to be looking at in these. Let's see if there's anything else. Was it Kohl's? KOL? I wanted to look at real quick. No, that's not it. I'm trying to remember what Kohl's is. We'll think about it here in a minute. We looked at SSCO. We looked at OIH. I wanted to look at Nike. One more retail stock before we get into earnings after the bell tonight. Well, if it's a bear market, it'd be kind of tough to see how it is today on Nike, down just a tiny bit, 3.2 million shares. No real sign that people are throwing their shoes away for their shirts. We'll be back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And, oh, are we there again? Yep. Okay. Just have to hear myself. Alaska Air Group. Well, it's certainly down on some volume today. Jeff and Kissimmee. You had 800,000 shares yesterday. You got 600,000 shares today. You kind of already pierced the low, though, with 2.8 million shares on the 26th of August. So you're into that already with some decent juice. I don't know if you already have a position or you want to put a position in, but I don't think this thing's probably going much anywhere, actually. Alaska Air Group, ALK. So not much happening on that. Okay, let's take a look at a few others out here. Netflix, question to take a look at Netflix. And this one's down. But it's just filling the gap. And again, if you took away the Disney news when this thing gapped down yesterday, you would look at the chart and say 41.5 million shares on the upside on earnings on the 18th. Yesterday, we were down on a little less than 10 million shares, and today we're probably going to come in somewhere around in that, and we filled exactly half the gap. If you were wanting to get long on Netflix for a retest of the top, this isn't a bad place to do it. Your stop would be, where's the high day there? Your stop would be a close under 163.55. So I don't see the risk reward in buying these for a test of the top. But if you think of this as an ABC on the way up, one for you, basically like $45, that would take you to about 110 on Netflix. I just don't see the catalyst, though, to drive that one higher. I want to go back here and take another swing at Wingstop. This thing's been hitting highs. We talked about this one. You know, it actually spiked it with some volume, no pullback on this. Go to SodaStream. It was another high flyer. Down a little bit on that one, but no juice on it either. So let's go to taking a look at some earnings Thursday evening, which this is going to be. We've got Nordstrom's after the bell. This one's just in a trading range. On the downside, if this thing whiffs, it'll have 42 bucks in a New York second. To the upside, $50 and maybe 50 and a quarter would be your upside. They'd have to really surprise to the upside. My guess is that this one probably is going to see 42.50 after hours tonight. NVIDIA. This one, of course, tested its previous 92 million share high. We've been talking about this one for a couple of days, 168.50. 92 million shares. We hit it on August 8th. We did so with 20 million shares. Kind of came back. It's in the trading range here today, but about 20 million shares. One of the harder ones, as we discussed yesterday, which is they've got volume really starting to pick up. Margins are kind of pulling back from when there was some scarcity, but it's probably going to be a wash. The question is whether or not the Wall Street gang sees the margins drop a little bit and decides to pull the plug and run. So I think probably if you're looking for anything on that, you want to watch kind of like Apple. It's a lot about the margins on it, and most people just look at the earnings statement, kind of wonder why the big guys move back and forth. But if you're in Intel, or if you're in Apple, or now if you're in NVIDIA, and you have these tremendous margins, one of the first signs that things are getting soft before revenues and overall profits drop is that profit margin. It generally leads by a quarter or two the actual underlying. When you have, well, like this in Intel and Apple, you've got margins over 50% of your product. So keep an eye on that. Let's check back in Mr. Market. We're off 23 points. Volume 2.35 billion shares on the NYSE. And like I said, a lot of these stocks, I think when I do my scan tonight, we're going to see have come down to previous levels and previous gaps on much lighter volume. There's a handful that, of course, have blown apart. But what can you see? Let's take a look at some other ones out here. I wanted to look at the SOX, although we've already looked at the SMHs. So let's do that. Again, same kind of thing. Lower highs so far, higher low. But not a blowout. Certainly you don't like this thing closing down here today. Volume's coming in 380,000 shares so far. Some of the bigger days have been, 1.7 million shares. You also on July 3rd had basically 1 million shares. So if you come in here with 500,000-600,000 shares by the end of the day, this is not some kind of giant sign of weakness in this, although it may come. I am more than willing to go to the side that is the strongest, but I continue to think that that is very tough to pull out here. Of course, PBR, which is Petrobras, also out after the bell tonight. Down a little bit of volume today, but you know what? Pretty light volume. And this did go right up to resistance level. I don't think there's a lot to the upside. If they whiff, there is a nice little gap at about $8.25, and I think that's probably support. If you were thinking about buying any of these energy stocks based on higher prices, I don't think you could get any better risk reward than $8.25, and if it fails there, $7.61. Yep, I always think of PBR as Pabst Blue Ribbon as we look at it. Going to look at a few other ones out here. Wanted to check back with IBM very quickly. See if anything else. Again, we've had a big downturn. These stocks have already been down already. So are the people that are short IBM, what are they starting to pick up the shares and cover their big shorts out here, or are they continuing to sell into it? Well, you certainly don't have a lot of that in the way of volume in IBM. This thing just continues to meander down, but you've got basically 3 dojis out here in the area that should be support and light volume in those areas too. So, does the little guy from North Korea nuke us? Well, I don't think there's any good bet on that. If he nukes us, it probably won't matter anyway. See what else? Back. Kind of light volume. It's 13 shares. It seems light.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And what else do we have happening here just before, just a couple of minutes left to go. Let's go back and look at Mr. Market real quick, just get a sense of what's happening there. 2451, that's 6-7 points off the lows so far. Volume's 2.4 billion shares. So, it's kind of a quiet market. Not a lot's happened as far as technical damage that I can see. In fact, a lot of stocks that were highs with light volume have come down on a little light volume, and the ones that were at lows on light volume have kind of settled around on light volume. I might find some different ones tonight in my scans, but I went through a bunch of them before the show, and I just couldn't see a lot of technical damage yet. Again, market couldn't go higher, so they're going to bust it down a little bit. Not a lot of juice in this market today. We'll see. I'm probably going to get my first read on options also tonight. It was rather ambiguous last night. I think everybody was trying to buy some protection, and that generally is a short-term bullish bias. Normally, people start buying puts when the house is on fire. So we'll see what they did today out here. If they continue to load up on them, maybe a short term out here where it carries us through options expiration next Friday, and maybe that's where the big leg starts back down. We may even start back up again. There's not a lot of juice here, but we may just be playing and starting a little ABC to the downside. Not going to get the monstrous volume off the top that we looked for, but we'll see. I think we've got some time out here. There's a big come. We're going to have plenty of time to play. In the meantime, so we can, not when you have to. We'll see you tomorrow.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.